Sweet surrender as I love, serve, and remember.
Reverends Melissa and Z.
Hey everyone!
Good morning.
We're going to start with a sing-along, which is super easy to learn.
Yep, I'll sing it through once, and you'll get it, and then we'll do it together.
How's that sound? Good? We're good? All right.
You ready? Oh, come on. You ready? There we go. Goes like this. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. That's it. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. After me. Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
I know that.
I know that.
Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. Yeah. When I'm down, I turn to you.
I turn to you.
When I'm down, pull me through.
Pull me through.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. See?
All alone, feeling broken, I don't know where to go. Got a feeling if I'm willing, Spirit's opening the door. So I'm asking, passing time while I'm crashing in a last sad gasp of confusion, and it's slow. A little knowing that won't let go. Can't ignore it, and you know I won't, cause it's growing in the open. No more hoping now. Spirit holds my soul and says you gotta let me love you now. You are worthy of this love, so why not let me love you now? You are worthy of this love. Yeah.
I surrender.
I surrender.
Every little thing.
Every little thing.
I surrender.
I surrender.
Hear me sing.
Hear me sing.
Hear me sing.
I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. Worthy. I am worthy of this love. I am worthy of this love. Yes, I am worthy of this love. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Lighthouse Center for Spiritual Living, where we are here to remember the magnificent truth that there's only one power, one presence in each and every one of us, a beautiful, radiant, unique expression of the one. We are so blessed, right? You already feel it? You already feel it? We have the magnificent Melissa's. There's two of you here today. There's Reverend Melissa and Reverend Z joining us, not joining us, they are leading our entire service. So be prepared to leave walking on light when you leave here today. So we're not on the ground, we're just rising high. How many here were here yesterday for the workshop? Okay, what number are you? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, we got your number. All right, so we had a magnificent workshop led by Reverends Z and Melissa, and we are going to have a wonderful service today. Usually I ask the musician if they want to say anything, but they're going to have the whole service. There's lots to say through the whole music. So we're just going to start. So I want to share a little bit about Reverend Melissa and Reverend Z, and then we'll have Christine come up and begin with the reading. All right, y'all ready? Take a breath. Oh, that's lovely. Reverend Dr. Melissa Philippe and Reverend Z. Egloff are longtime students and teachers of consciousness and transformation. They are both ordained ministers with Centers for Spiritual Living, holding master's degree in consciousness studies. Z also has a master's in spiritual psychology, and Melissa has an honorary doctorate for her contributions to the field of New Thought music. Melissa and Z are the founders of Oh My God Life, You just can't say that like quietly. An online and traveling ministry. At their virtual home, ohmygodlife.com, they offer videos, music, books, classes, and more, which are all back there, so make sure you go back there at the end of service. They also speak, perform, and facilitate workshops and retreats nationwide. Their title talk today is Who You Gonna Call? Best service ever. So we're going to begin now with Christine, who gives us our reading, followed by a chant led by Reverends Melissa and Z, 3-minute silent meditation, and opening evocation. Christine.
Thank you, and good morning, Lighthouse. Our reading today is from Maria Irving. What matters is the act of surrender. The awakening process all boils down to this: surrender. How, you may ask? Like this: let go of everything. Let go of the need to understand, the need to know how exactly to do it, and what to say, how to be, and so on. Just give up the struggle. Literally say, take me, I'm yours. Do with me what you wish. I won't resist or avoid anything anymore. I'm sincerely yours. Let go. Surrender. Just let go. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to seek anymore. You don't have to look for any answers or solutions anymore. Just let go. Let everything go. I'm telling you, this is the ultimate solution and answer that the awakening process leads to anyway. So you might as well save yourself years of suffering by surrendering to the truth right now and let it take over your life. It all falls into place in the moment of surrender. That's when freedom and peace comes and takes over your whole being. And how wonderful it is to remember, to surrender in this very moment, right where you are, right at the heart of everything. Let go. Let God. Just let it all be. What a wonderful reminder how easy life is when we surrender. So I know that today's service is going to be rockin' and a rollin', and we are so blessed to have Reverends Melissa and Z take it up a notch for us today so that we can take it out in our world, in our week, and share this oh my God life with just everyone we meet in a new and exciting way. What a gift this is for us today, that we can embrace these practices and really just be, surrender and be one with life. How perfect this day is. How utterly appreciative each of us are for our lives and this moment where we get to grow. This is truly the best service ever. And as I release my word into the law, I know this is so. And say with me, and so it is. Amen.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy and honored to be here. Reverend Harriet was one of my teachers in ministerial school, so it's an honor to be here at her center and sharing with you. And I want to thank also to Reverend Kathy Sharmer and John, who've been such a great support to us and have been with us all weekend. Yeah, so happy to be here. We're gonna start with a song that has a spoken word chorus, and I would love for you to join me. So it's very simple. It goes like this: I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. Say that with me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. And the next line is, I feel your peace and your presence in me. Say that together. I feel your peace and your presence in me. That's it. It started out small, something less than a touch. I didn't even know it was you. God was unreliable, a crazy man, righteous, someone I should love and fear. What kind of sense is that? It started out small, something less than a touch. I didn't even know it was you. When I stumbled upon your power, I lost what I was taught. The crazy and the righteous enfolded in a love so vast it stretched the very definition of the word. Love. Together, I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power. My God, I feel your peace and your presence in me.
I surrender. I surrender to
are not outside of me, and yet you are. It makes no sense, but then it does, for you are here wherever here may be. You speak to me, I speak to you. The voice is here and not here, landing in the space between where you and I vanish and begin stretching the very definition of the word me. You, together, I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me.
I surrender.
I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence in me. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, my God. I feel your peace and your presence as me.
Surrender.
I feel your peace and your presence and your power. I feel your peace and your presence and your power, and I say that and I feel it, right? We feel that here. And then you go home. And it can get harder to access, right, sometimes? Melissa and I have an element of our spiritual practice that we've been really cultivating for several years now. It's the I-thou practice, which is about building a relationship, a devotional relationship with Spirit. And I know when I was growing up, that meant a very specific thing. Spirit had one word, it was God. And God was a white, cisgender male, vintage cloud dweller who repeatedly failed his mandatory anger management class. Like, the guy was a loose cannon, and I was supposed to build a relationship with him? Like, what? So we as modern metaphysicians know that Spirit is everywhere, including right here. And from that knowledge base, how do we build a relationship with Spirit as modern metaphysicians? How do we do it? What does it look like? And what happens when we do that? So that's what we want to talk about today. Sound good? Yeah? Okay. Melissa is going to get us started. Melissa?
Thank you, Z.
You're welcome.
So when I was growing up, we went to church every Sunday. Every single Sunday, we were there, sitting there in church, hearing about this version of God, that version of God that Z just described. Outside of me only, and kind of randomly enraged. And then, you know, I was supposed to trust this guy with my life. And so I was cruising along, going to church every Sunday for a lot of years. And then in the 6th grade, my parents decided, after seeing what the school system was doing with my brother and sister, that they would move me to private school. Great idea, by the way. And it just so happened that the private school they chose was that very church that we had been attending every Sunday. So then I started attending church 6 days a week. Monday through Friday, all of the students from the school would travel on in, traipse on in to this big old chapel, this huge church, and sit and listen to hear more about that version of God. And then we would go on Sunday morning. So this went on, but you know what happens in the 6th grade? 6th and 7th and 8th grade is about the time when the brain starts to change its development, and we start to look at the world not only from the family system that we've been in, whatever that might be. We start to think about, oh, not everybody thinks like my parents do, and not everybody's the same, and then who am I? I'm an individual. I'm not just my parents' kid. I'm this person, and who am I, and what do I think about all this stuff that I'm hearing, and who says what, and you know what I mean? Start having a whole different kind of experience. So here I am in that place in my life, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, 6th and 7th in particular, and I'm hearing about this version of God that loves me powerfully and unconditionally, and I'm also hearing that my very best friend in the world, Donna Abrahams, is going to hell because she's Jewish. Right? This did not make sense to me. It didn't line up. And like everything in those days, when I had any kind of emotional reaction to it, it was channeled through rage. Because that's what was going on for me. So I was enraged about it. Actually, I'll never really know how much that being enraged by that turned me into a drug addict. At that age, I was 13, I became a full-blown, fabulously excellent drug addict. At that point, I turned completely away from spirit because I didn't want anything to do with that. No, I want nothing to do with this conflicting, nonsensical goofiness that you're trying to tell me is true. Now, the good news is that July 31st, 34 years, 9 months, and 17 days ago, I got clean. Very good thing. You would not be having me speak. Trust me on this. So I started going to places where I was hearing about a new version of spirit, and I showed up very soon after my sobriety, a couple years in, to a Center for Spiritual Living, where I started hearing about a different version of God. This version of God was this God that was everywhere, all the time, always had been, always would be, and also was within me. This version of God also was unconditionally loving, like really and truly to everyone. This worked for me. This really worked for me. I was not hearing about a God I could talk to like you, use the word you. At that point, that wasn't happening for me, and that really worked for me. I didn't really need to go there. That was still not happening for me. And since then, Z and I have learned about Ken Wilber's theory about the 3 faces of the divine. 3 faces of God, or 3 faces of the divine. Ken Wilber's still alive. He's an American philosopher. And he talks about these 3 faces of God, or 3 faces of spirit. The first face is allness, we. It's the we. It's everything, everywhere, all the time, outside, inside, all at the same time. Everything that is, everything that's ever been, everything that ever will be is this one power and presence. That is the we. That is the all. That is the truth. Capital T, truth. That's what's happening. And if that is what's happening everywhere all the time, then the second face of spirit makes a lot of sense, that if it's everywhere all the time, then it's right here where I am. It is right there in your seat, with you, in you, as you. And there is nothing else in your seat but this one infinite loving presence and power. Well, that's kind of sweet. And that is a capital T truth. Now, quantum physicists now proven this, but we won't go there. So that's the second face of spirit, is the I. Spirit as I. And then there is a third face of spirit. Spirit as you. Spirit, God, the presence, the all as you. Well, what does that mean? If it's all that is, and it's right here in me, how is it also you? Well, that's the conundrum, that is the paradox of metaphysical teachings. Because if we have this relationship with this power and presence that is outside of us, and we can communicate and be with it, and we refer to it as you, that would imply that it's outside of us. But no, that's the beauty of the paradox of metaphysical teachings. We know that as we say, Spirit, I love you, I know you love me, we're talking about, and two, that spirit that is all powerful, and right here, all that all powerfulness is right here. Well, not all of it isn't right here. That's the beauty and weirdness of it. It's bizarre and fabulous. And just that is so powerful, understanding that there is a you I can talk to, and it's right here also in me when I'm having that conversation. My experience of this is that when I include all three faces of the divine, including the you, I have a three-dimensional relationship with spirit. It's really a richer thing. And this is how that happened. So 15 years ago, Zia and I were in ministerial school together. And one of our classes, we got to do this guided meditation. In this guided meditation, we spent a long period of time getting to a place of peace and resting and being. And then we spent time there with this infinite presence. We first just rested in that place, in that presence for quite a while. It was very, very powerful. And then the guided meditation asked us to ask Spirit, what is the name specifically for me to call you? What is my name for you? And in that moment, I've had this, a few times in life, I heard a voice. It was so powerful. It was like a movie, like this loud, booming, male and female, just this voice that said, the all. And I burst into tears because of how it resonated in me. I just lost it. I wasn't alone in the room doing this meditation, so I'm like trying to keep it together as I'm like, ah! It was so powerful for me. And then I heard it again, the all. So the next morning, I go on my morning walk, which I do, and I was praying as I do on my morning walk. And always I had started my prayers for years. Good morning, this power and this presence, there is only this one, and I know it is everywhere, and I know it is right here as me. But that morning I started and I said, good morning, the all. And oh my God, I felt this whoosh through my body, and my heart just like burst open. It was this incredible physical experience, really powerful for me. So ever since then, that's how I pray. I pray to the all, and I have all kinds of conversations with it. But after a while, it started to feel kind of cumbersome to use the term the all, right? So one day, God is nice and short, right? But the all just kind of felt kind of like a lot. So one morning, this is way later, I said to Spirit in my walk, I'm like, good morning, y'all. Well, you know, I just got to ask you, I have this question. So I don't want to be blasphemous or, you know, rude or anything, because you told me what to call you, but it's feeling kind of long sometimes, so I'm wondering if I can shorten it and just use the first letter of each word and call you Ta. And once again, while I'm walking, I hear this voice that kind of giggles and says, I don't care what you call me. It's so great, because as I think about this, you think about relationships, all of your closest peeps, right? Your innermost people, and how often this is what happens. You spend time. This is how we get close, how we develop relationship and intimacy, is we spend time together and we talk and listen. That's it. We be present and we talk and we listen. And after a while of that, often what happens is they have a nickname. We just find ourselves calling them something else, right? So in our household, I know that if I hear Z say, Melissa, I am in trouble. Because my name in our relationship and Z's name for me is baby. I am baby, Z is baby. That is what we call it. We get teased about it by our friends. Baby, 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 baby. Because that's what we call each other. If I call out Z, it's because we're like, they're in a store and I'm trying to get them from aisles away or something. Baby. And that's what happens when we develop relationships. So that's a beautiful thing to know, because it's one of the hacks that we have for you. So we have these 3 shortcuts to support you in this developing this deeper walk and this deeper intimacy in your own relationship with Spirit, if you care to do that. Hack number 1 is you decide you're going to do this. That's like anything, right? You go, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that. That is the first step in any creation, creative or otherwise. We decide. We choose. And so you say, okay, I'm going to deepen my walk. I'm going to have this new level of intimacy with Spirit. That's step 1. Step 2, what we recommend is that you do a similar guided meditation where you ask Spirit. You spend some time in meditation where after a while of being saturated and steeped in this yummy love, you say, Spirit, what is the name you would have me call you? And then just wait and see what comes. It might not come as a big booming voice right away, but it will create in you. It will show up somehow. And then our third hack that I love so much, and I like to giggle about this because we're ministers. We've been ministers now for 10 years, and in ministerial school for 15 ago, right? So 15 years of this path. And it took us many years to figure out that we are praying for all this stuff. We pray for everything. Metaphysicians, we pray for everything. Well, how about if we pray for a deeper walk with Spirit? Well, now there's an idea. We ask Spirit, that all that is everywhere and here, right here, bring me deeper, closer. Let me hear you, feel you, see you, know you more fully, more powerfully. Lead me. The beautiful thing about that third hack is that it covers everything. If we have a closer walk, a deeper walk with Spirit, we hear our intuition. And like with any intimate relationship, you know when someone you know well calls you and you go hello and they say hello and you go, oh, are you okay? Like, you know their voice, right? You recognize the voice. So the beauty of deepening this relationship is you know that voice. You know when it's your egoic structure, personality, self saying, you know, eat that or whatever it is, or where it's Spirit telling you, guiding you, leading you, inviting you, pushing you, pulling you to your next greater good. And the beautiful thing, of course, is that Spirit always leads you to your greater good. So with this third prayer, this third hack of this prayer, Spirit, lead me deeper in my relationship with you, is the better life in every area of your life. It covers everything. Yum. Yay. All right, so to talk more about this relationship and how we can play with it and deepen it, I give you my wife, Reverend Baby.
Oh, good. That means I'm not in trouble. That's good. Everything's good. All right. So I love the I-thou relationship, and one of my favorite things about it is the deepening connection with my intuition and getting downloads from Spirit, right? And being able to more and more know, okay, right? And following. Yeah, you got to get the download, and then you actually have to listen. So that's another story. More on that in a minute. All right. So when Melissa and I were about to graduate from ministerial school, I got a download from Spirit that really kind of changed the face of our ministry. And in order for the download to make sense, I first have to tell you a story about a cat. Okay, for all you cat people out there. So this was decades ago now. I was coming out of a bad breakup, and I lost the cat. She got the cat. And I decided that what I needed to help me get through this was I needed another cat. And every cat I'd had in my life up to that point came to me. You know how they choose you, they pick you. That's always what happened. And I was open for that, but it wasn't happening. I'm just like waiting, where's my cat? Where's my cat? And not coming, so I just decided to take matters into my own hands, and I went up to a local animal shelter, and they had a big room with all the cats in one room. I don't know how the cats put up with that, but they did. And they said, just look around, pick any cat you want. So I go and look around, and I found this really cute little tortoiseshell kitty, and I said, okay, I want that cat. And they said, oh, no, sorry, that cat's taken. But here's another cat who looks just like one. It just looks the same. Kind of, check that cat out. So I go over and I pick her up and I pet her for about 30 seconds. And then she bit me, like hard. So I put her down and I said, I'll take her. I wanted my cat and I wanted my cat now. So I'm just like, okay. Although, not so fast, I had to go through some serious hoops. Okay, so the first hoop was I had to give them 2 references, and they had to call them both and talk to them both to make sure that I was an appropriate cat parent. Or, well, so Jay Leno used to say, dogs have owners, cats have staff, right? So they had to make sure I was appropriate staff for the cat, but that's not all. They gave me all these papers to fill out. I had to read and sign all these papers. And the paper said, I will never return this cat to you. And I will never give this cat away to anyone else either, because they aren't vetted as proper cat staff, right? So I'm like, wow, I have never had to go through all this just to get a cat, but okay, sign, bring the cat home. I named her Lucy. 1 week later, I get a call from her friend who says, I found the perfect cat for you. And I'm like, oh, man, okay. Very curious. I had to go check it out. So I go, it's an animal shelter, and there's this kitten, this little orange male kitten, adorable. He didn't bite me and attack me. He was super easy to adopt. They're like, take him, please. Take him yesterday, right? He's yours. So I wasn't planning on getting 2 cats, but this was my little guy. So I bring him home. I name him Max. Okay, now there's just one problem, which is that Lucy and Max hate each other. Actually, it's more that Lucy hated Max, right? Like, who are you, little whippersnapper? And I was taking them to a vet at the time, and the vet said, well, just so you know, tortoiseshells, Lucy's a tortoiseshell, they often make better only children, right? And she had to be an only child with me because I couldn't take her back. I had basically signed my name in blood, right? So that meant that Max had to go, which really broke my heart. It really did. And I gave him to a friend of mine. And now it's just me and Lucy. And, it was pretty good. We bonded and we built a little life for ourselves. She had a tendency to bite. Surprise, surprise. All of a sudden, out of the blue, a friend of mine used to say that Lucy looked like she'd done time. Like she looked like she'd seen things she couldn't unsee. Like she was tough. She was a tough cat, you know? But, you know, we did all right. So fast forward a few years later, Melissa has joined the party. So we're now a little family of 3. And Melissa and I are about to graduate from ministerial school. I get a download from Spirit. And now this will make more sense. So Spirit says to me, you 2 are about to graduate from ministerial school. You can approach your ministry one of 2 ways. You can approach your ministry like you did with Lucy, right? Making it happen on your time, deciding in your mind how it was going to be, and you made it happen, right? And if you do, it'll be pretty good, right? And it's going to bite from time to time. Or you can approach your ministry like every other cat you ever had, letting it happen organically, letting it happen on Spirit's time. And if you do that, things are going to go a lot better. And at this point, I'm like, wow, because I had never thought of that before. I'd never put that together, that Lucy was the one cat that I'd kind of like made it happen on my timing, and she was also the most difficult cat staff relationship that I'd had, right? So that was the first thing of like revelation there. And then a few months later, after this revelation, Lucy died. Suddenly, unexpectedly, we're upstairs, we hear a noise downstairs, she's having a seizure, she's gone, like in a minute. Which was very much like her, like, you know, I'm in charge, I'm leaving, bye, you know. It turned out she had a congenital heart issue, there's nothing we could have done, it was like her time. Surprisingly early, though. So now, Melissa and I are about to start our ministry, and we've been given pretty specific instructions from Spirit about how to proceed. Did we listen? We were freaked out about money. Like, how's this going to work? How is this whole thing that we're doing, like, how is this all going to come together? And so we made a few calls, and by we, I mean Melissa. Because Melissa actually likes the phone and is willing to talk, and she's very friendly and cheery, and also she'd been Melissa Felipe. She was going all over to different centers, so she had a lot of contacts. So Melissa gets on the phone. Hi, it's Melissa, how are you doing? Yes, I'm doing really well. I'm a minister now. Yeah, I know, so fun, right? Well, I wanted to let you know I'm doing ministry now with my wife Ben, Z. Oh, wife Ben, yeah. So Z is gender rich, whole lot of gender going on. And so I call them my wife Ben. Yeah. That's true. I did have a husband last time we talked. Yep. Mm-hmm. It surprised me too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so Z is doing ministry with me, and they are coming with me now. Yeah, they. Oh, Z is gender rich. So the they is they, them pronouns. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to let you know what we're doing. So we're talking, of course, we're ministers, but also musically, we're doing something a little different. So I'm still singing, but Z has joined me, and Z does spoken word. Hello? Hello? Okay, it didn't work. When we tried to tell people and like do cold calls and say, let us come to your center, it didn't work at all. So finally we said, you know, this is about a year in of forcing it, doing the Lucy forcing method, even though we were told not to. So finally about a year in, we said, okay, we are gonna like 100% surrender to Spirit. Because you know there's a big difference between like 99% surrender and 100, and like how about as ministers we like actually do this 100% thing, right? How about that? So we did. And you know, it wasn't all at once, it wasn't all of a sudden. But we started getting more and more calls from people who'd heard of us, or someone told them to have us come there, right? And we also were asked to do things that we had decided, we're gonna just do talk and music, we're not gonna do workshops, we're not gonna do retreats, right? And we got asked to do workshops and retreats, and we're like, 100% surrender, remember? Okay, we'll try that. And then we realized, wow, we really like this, because, you know, Spirit is so much smarter than we are. And then we're going out in the world, because we're at home, we're creating content, we're putting it online, and then we go out in the world, and we're starting to see how what we do at home is supporting out in the world and vice versa. And people are saying, wow, your whole, you know, business plan, marketing strategy, like, God, it's just so amazing how you're doing all this. And we'd be like, I know, right? Like, Spirit is so much smarter than we are. And because there was this level of surrender, 100%, there's that metaphor for faith sometimes. It's like you're driving and the faith is like, the headlights where you can see, gives you enough room to see what's up and just it's a little bit, but you keep going. We felt like the fog was so thick, we really didn't know what was happening, that we couldn't see it all. And we had to take our sticky little fingers off the wheel and just let Spirit drive, which is really scary, but it also deepened that I-thou relationship. It deepened that walk so profoundly. It continues. I mean, this is still our practice to this day, and it's always great to say this, to remember, right, that depth. So at the same time all this surrendering's going on, I was visiting my folks in Ohio, and Melissa went shopping, and she ran into a friend who said, "Hey, by any chance, do you want a cat?" And Melissa said, "Well, we love cats, but we don't have one." Long story. But yeah, interested. Like, do you have a picture? So Melissa sends me this picture, and I look at this picture, and I'm like, that's our cat. That's our cat. That night, I got a download from Spirit that said, that cat's name is Max. And I said, no, infinite, divine one, who knows all, you don't understand. I guess maybe you forgot that I already had a cat named Max, so the cat cannot be named Max. Just saying. I love to argue with Spirit. It's one of my hobbies. I'm really, really good with it. The next day, Melissa calls me, and she said, okay, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I keep getting that cat's name is Max, but didn't you already have a cat named Max? Needless to say, Max came home to live with us. And not surprisingly, he is the most amazing cat we've ever had. He's our little spirit guy, right? He's our little spirit cat. When I was putting this talk together, I realized for the first time, finally, why his name is Max. The first Max I had was I couldn't keep him because I'd already gone and committed to forcing things to happen, right? He was my little surrendered, it just came to me naturally, but I couldn't stay with him because I'd already committed to forcing it, right? So I had to give him up. But it's never too late to surrender to Spirit, right? So I got another Max. And we have his picture here with us. We have a little slide of our little fella. There he is. Okay. That's our little guy. That's Max. So he's our ministry's mascot. He's a constant reminder to us of the power of surrendering to Spirit. And we just look in those eyes, right? Whenever we want to argue with Spirit, no, all-knowing one, you don't understand. Whenever it feels too scary to do 100% surrender, right? We just look in those little eyes and we remember we are loved. We are loved, and as we cultivate that I-thou relationship, right? As we find our name for Spirit, as we commit to it, as we pray for that deeper walk, everything in our life gets better and better all the time, and it doesn't bite. So please repeat after me. Spirit is so much smarter than I am. And it's never too late to surrender to Spirit. Let us pray. Spirit. You are all that is. You are everywhere, including right here in me, in everyone here in this room, everyone watching online, everyone everywhere, all at once. You are divine love. You are infinite peace. You are glorious wisdom. You are all. And so I speak this word right here, right now, that we are deepening our connection with you. That each and every one of us hearing this prayer now is opening to the possibilities of a deeper, richer connection with you. That we are finding our name to call you, our nickname to call you. And we are setting our intention. We are praying for this depth, and we are willing to maybe let go of arguing when you give us inspiration. Willing to say yes, 100% yes, to doing your will. And we are also willing and open to receive all that comes when we follow this deep path of the mystic, of the divine. We are open to the good that comes to us and the good that we are available to share with others, with the world, as we truly uplift the planet. And I am grateful. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for this life in and with, and as you, grateful. And if you are in alignment with this prayer, please repeat after me, Amen. And so it is.
I can see my way over. So I'll stay. And I pray till you carry me. Carry me.
One of our favorite examples of the I-thou practice is the story and the life of Harriet Tubman. And so we wrote a song about her called Walk by Faith.
No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you.
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, I want you to help free others. Do you know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said, no. She said, not me. She said, I can't. But the voice wouldn't let up. It wouldn't let her be. I want you to help free others. I want you to help free others. Finally, Harriet Tubman, the woman who would be known as Moses, said yes. Yes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night. Step by step, she followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light.
True story. Harriet Tubman, with the help of the Union Army, once freed 750 enslaved people in one day. Can you imagine 750 people? Moses brought them home. The voice of Spirit doesn't mess around. When you listen to that voice, you are never the same. When you listen to that voice, you are free. And it doesn't stop there. You take others with you. The 750 are still alive today. They're your sisters and your brothers in struggle and in pain. They're your doubts and your fears when you say, I can't, but you can. And you will when you walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light. No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you, yeah, taking you home. You gotta
Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guide.
It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
I walk in God in all I do. I walk in God in all that I say.